Welcome to Not Another Wrestling Talk Show, the show for wrestling fans everywhere. Your hosts, as always, are Fog Jones, at the Fog Jones on X/Twitter, and the Masked J, Feed Your Mask on X/Twitter. Join us every week as we discuss the latest wrestling news, rumors, and reviews. So whether you're a casual fan or a hardcore enthusiast, Not Another Wrestling Talk Show is the show for you. If you enjoy the show, please subscribe, share, and hit the thumbs up and that bell for notifications on your favorite podcast platform. And don't forget to follow us on social media for the latest updates. Thanks.
Welcome, everyone, to Not Another Wrestling Talk Show. We are live again. This time we have Alexis Gray with us. Thank you so much for joining us. I know you had a busy day. For big news that had come out a couple weeks back now. Still fresh, though, I would say, and WWE doing those recent round of releases. And I know a lot of people had some different opinions on it. We're kind of surprised. Personally, your name stuck out to me because you were billed as part of that Next in Line program, and you were making a couple appearances here and there on NXT, correct? Cool. So we're really glad to have you. So first and foremost, thanks for coming. How's your day going?
Definitely. I 100% agree with that.
Every day's a blessing, right? I mean, I hate to sound corny, but like we're here, right? We have internet to talk to each other. We can do this. It's good. What's to complain about, right?
Exactly.
So cool. So for people that aren't familiar with you, although I think the internet kind of quickly picked up, and I think you developed like a quick following, and like almost like people were like, wait, what happened here? That's my impression, and we'll get to that. But like for those who may not be too familiar with you and your time with WWE, do you mind sharing just a little bit about that?
I get the offer and I get there this year of January. And let me tell you, that training was something different when I first got
No joke, right?
It was no joke when I first got
Yeah.
it. It was like baffled at the talent that they had there previously and the level of competition that I was now a part of. And it all woke me up to this wrestling world because it was dormant inside me because I stopped watching for a very, very long time. But now that I got to actually participate and actually wrestle, it just opened up a completely new door for me. And I started finding myself in pro wrestling like super fast.
Yeah.
Progressing in my, based off what I was receiving from like other people, how they would like address me and things like that. I felt like I was doing great. Like out the jump, I feel like I'm very personable. So just being able to entertain, being able to actually connect with people was never an issue for me. I feel like being there, just athletically wise, I was able to like hone my senses because I'm already like a springy kind of like jumping squirrel type of person. So going there just completely gave me like a platform to just, for the first time in my life, I think, be me. Jump around, be crazy, be outrageous, be incredible. And I absolutely loved the environment there. Okay. So that was more the reason why when the releases were coming around, I honestly was so surprised when I got that call. I was like, oh my God, like I thought I was doing so good. I thought I was so progressing fast for someone that just got there and this and that and third. But I mean, at first I was devastated, of course, because I really didn't see myself getting on TV. Because like you said, I created this following that was surprising to me, honestly. I if you really think about it, I'm a no name in WWE world. I have yet to even put down a stone in pro wrestling, period. So the fact that I had all of these people supporting me, all of asking me, who am I? What are you planning to do? It just gave me this courage to actually like do something with it.
Right.
And I was
no, that makes sense.
maybe this is like a blessing in disguise. Maybe this is like I feel like I honestly needed a foundation. I think everybody there who I isn't, they all had a foundation. And I think this was my opportunity to actually build myself up in the pro wrestling world. And then maybe eventually when they come knocking on my door, you know, I could give them a different deal this time.
Yeah, so the things that stood out to me, and probably the rest of the community, where people were kind of all of a sudden following you, and I think you even said you've had people outside point out, hey, I know who you are. But you immediately took to this with a message of positivity. You go out there on Twitter and you say, at the end of the day, you put in work, and you believe that in yourself because you did it, and that's amazing. But you're not moping about it. You still show respect for the place that you come from. You were new. You were a track star, correct?
Correct.
And you're an international student, correct?
Correct.
So you're young too, and so interesting for you. Pulled straight out, put into the big leagues, for lack of better terms,
Yeah.
and then you were just like, I think you had done like 1 or 2 skits with Chase University on NXT, and your acting skills looked like they were there. Like I saw the clip and I was like, okay, she fits right in. She's doing a great job. And then this happens, and again, I was shocked. I mean, I was like, okay, we have to talk to her. Like we have to talk to her. But I think the big thing here, and the thing that I'm, again, like we talked about before we hit the record button, is we're all about positivity and just life is a blessing. Every day is a blessing. Glad to be here again. Glad you're here. And so I think that outlook is just, hey, speaking from me on this side of things, I think that's going to take you so far. And if I hear you correctly, you're not leaving pro wrestling. You're just getting started, correct?
Oh yeah.
Right.
I've just got a taste of it. They gave me a taste of it, and then they said, "Now let's see what you do with that taste." That's how I.
Yep.
And that's
so.
That's
Did
how
you
have to take it actually?
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, everybody else that's been released, you think about like Drew McIntyre, who was released a while ago, and a lot of people before him would have just failed, or even Cody. Yeah, you're right. You get what you make of it at this point. In your case, you are young, you are talented, you are eager, you're hungry. So use that, get your butt in there, put in the work like you have been doing, and just knock it out of the park, because you have the talent. We can see it. That's why I messaged you. That's why I wanted you on here with, just like Fog was saying, we wanted you on here because we saw potential in you.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So if you don't mind me asking, and again, correct me if I'm wrong, you did not have a televised match in NXT, but did you have, like, what was it like during your training? Did they have you do full matches while you were there? Obviously not televised, but did they have you do full matches, or was it other types of traditional training? What was that like?
Yes, of course. I think in everything is always going to be that basic building block of preparation. So have matches with a lot of the ladies just so the coaches could gauge exactly where I'm at in my wrestling, exactly what they need to help me with, and just things like that. And honestly, I think in total, I may have had like unofficially 6 or 7 matches.
Okay,
like
cool.
Real matches where I put together, everything I would like to do. Yeah. And like I said before, I think for me personally, I was always a creative person. I was always like super like energetic person. So when I got put in the position to figure out who I was as a character, figure out which direction I wanted to come in, what was my strengths, what was my weaknesses, I think I came together with like also learning the history of wrestling and learning the move sets and understanding like which move sets would actually work for certain people. I think I picked up on it super fast, and I was able to like think of like move sets that I wanted to do. I think I found myself a lot of times where the coaches were like, "Okay, calm down. You too fast. You moving too fast." Like that was always my critique. Too fast, and yeah.
You turn into like a video game character. You're just doing move after move, and you're not giving anything time to breathe.
This is Mortal Kombat at this point. This is literally one.
That's fun. I feel like, now granted I'm 35 and I'm beat up now, but I feel like, because I'm essentially a high energy person. I feel like that'd be the same thing. You'd be pretending like you're in a video game, like doing all that. So, but you felt pretty comfortable, like you were just about ready to go. And then that happened, correct? So you were kind of, I hate to say blindsided, but essentially like, hey, I'm ready to go. And now there is no go. Is that fair?
I mean, as far as I'm concerned, I think based on what I had to go through getting to the company, I kind of realized it was more so about business rather than actually like learning me as a person. I understood that when it came down to it, my credentials needed to be up there, and it needed to be there for someone who did not know me, who was simply looking at my name. And once those were there, then maybe they would have been like, okay, well, she's done this for the company, this for the company, this. But because it was just a name, it's like, okay, well, she's gone, And I mean, it sucks to think about it like that. But truthfully, thinking about it from a business standpoint, I can't be mad at it. I simply have to go with the punches and use it to my advantage.
Well, I mean, have you been contacted by any other company at this point?
So just basically, I've been reached out to by a lot of schools, like wrestling schools and stuff like that.
Nice.
I have not been reached out to. Like I have been reaching out to bigger corporations like WOW. With,
okay.
Oh yeah.
These I would love to get into. Like the ladies that they have there right now are amazing, and they look. So I've been reaching out to them. I myself have been reaching out, and I have trying to find people to help me to get more connections. Okay. Right now, I plan to start training with House of Champions for sure.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
Cool.
Oh, that's good
stuff. I
stuff.
remember in the, I think it was the first interview that you had done after the fact, you had mentioned you were looking for a wrestling school. And so you have found the wrestling school and you do plan on starting soon. Is that correct? Maybe I didn't hear it.
Oh yeah. As soon as I lock in my job, I'm definitely locking in my wrestling school, and I'm definitely locked in.
Cool.
That's right.
So I feel like the time you had at WWE was probably, I mean, though it was 9 months or so, it probably felt like years if it was anywhere else. So do you have any like specific experiences or training sessions or training partners that really stood out and were your favorite moments during your time there? Or was your favorite moment that the skits you had done with Chase U?
That was good stuff.
Yeah.
I think my favorite moment there has to be just getting to actually work with the main veteran that I was able to work with was Tatum.
Okay.
And I tell you, Tatum and Axiom.
Mm-hmm.
When I tell you, those two are amazing.
Yeah.
That would really open my eyes. I said, wait, how are you guys like real right now? I came in to work with them. I was like, how are y'all even like real right now? Like it's so unexplainable.
Yeah. So did they take good part in training you a lot of the time, or?
So I usually reach out to them mostly.
Okay.
To just like outside and like get in and roll around. But as far as other than that, I think
okay. It's all right. We could wait a minute. It'll come back.
Yeah, it'll come back.
Good?
Yeah. Okay.
Awesome.
Yeah. Other than that, are specific. It's a meeting of outside of training time to get to work. They were around people and so
I think the audio cutting out for you, Jay?
Yeah.
It's kind of like every other word is cutting out, it seems like. Yeah.
Is it better now?
Yes.
Okay, there we
Perfect.
go.
Okay. Sorry, you were saying so that you were reaching out to them, you were enlisting their help, and they were kind of mind blowing. But as far as other trainers and whatnot,
I honestly felt like everyone there loved me. It was I think that was another thing that took me by surprise when I got released. I think I had a genuine bond, whether it was friendship or whether it was business or no matter what it was. I felt like I had a bond with each and every person. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
definitely.
And it's like, okay, because when I got there, I understand how my personality is. I can be very, 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 very loud. The first time you meet me at the gate, you're gonna get me.
Same way.
So I like to allow people to accept me at their own pace. And I, after a couple months of being there, after they saw me in the ring as well, they began to soften up a little bit, and everyone was more open to asking me, like, you know, how am I feeling during the training times, and giving me pointers here and there. I cannot even like single out anybody there, because I feel like everyone there has at least helped me with something for sure.
Yeah.
Like,
I could be wrong, but I don't think a loud or bold personality is going to do you any harm in the world of professional wrestling. So I think
it really wouldn't.
I think that's going to serve you well in the long run.
That will definitely help you out in the long run.
So were you a fan of WWE prior to this? I know in the interview you said something that was pretty funny, the previous interview, where you mentioned how it felt like you spoke something almost into existence, and like how all of a sudden you saw something online and all that. But were you actively like interested in the WWE or wrestling in general prior to your time there?
So
it sounds like you caught the pro wrestling bug.
Oh yeah, I was interested in. I think everyone was interested in WWE around Total Divas time.
Yeah.
That's really when I was active to it. I was like suplexing my sisters off the couch, elbows, you know. Like, stuff. But I was definitely into it up until I went to college. So when I went to college, it became books, track and field, home, sleep, cook. That's it. Like I didn't have any time for anything else. I didn't have a TV. If I watch anything, it was on Netflix. But
okay.
Now that awakened something in me. I feel like I would be able to survive during the Divas time. I feel like I was a very key person. And if I didn't get in that era, I should have been in the era with Bayley and Sasha, because me and Sasha together would be like a killer tag team. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I saw that tweet. I like that tweet. You're cooking right there. I'm telling you. Hey, actually, I have a question. How was the transition going from a sprinter to a wrestler?
Amazing. I had everything you need for anything springboard wise, anything drop kick wise, anything jump over someone. I literally was like a spider monkey in there. I'm telling y'all, like it's so hard to like tell you, because when I know I look like this, but when y'all see me, y'all will be like, whoa, she got some skills.
That's awesome. Yeah, I was curious about that too, because, you know, a lot of the natural athletes tend to do fairly well, but is there like a unlearning process of one thing or another from the skills? I hear the training is quite brutal. I actually just watched another interview with Samantha Irvin where she had to go through the training, even though she essentially ends up an announcer, but she, you know, everyone kind of says the same thing. It's no joke. So like, so you're suplexing your sisters on the couch and dropping the elbow. You go to college, you're a track star, you have that natural athlete in you. What about getting punched in the face and just being slammed on your back and jumping off of the top rope? What about that is like, man, this is the career I really want to go. You know what I mean? Like, this is what I want to do. Like, how did that happen?
So to be very honest with y'all, I have done pretty much every single sport.
Okay.
I have done it to the level where I can definitely be on the team and I can definitely play.
Yeah.
But I can say track had my attention for more of the time, simply because at the moment, I think I took to it really, really well with sprinting. And I was also young, and it was also something to help me get to college. So I kind of focus on track a lot more. But the honest truth is, I think I was just a ruffian. I think I have a ruffian soul where I'm not actually scared of a punch getting thrown at me. The worst is going to happen is I'm going to get hit. But then, you know, so it kind of evens out in my head. And then also, I'm a big technical person. So one technique of something, I really trust myself 100% to full send things like every single time. And I think that's maybe something that a lot of people struggle with. They think that's why they think like it is extremely, extremely hard at the performance center. But for me personally, just coming from track, I already had the cardio. I already had the explosiveness. I already had the mindset, just being able to do so many different sports and having to depend on myself or depend on the team and this and that and the third. I think I personally went through a lot of trials and tribulations in my life that led me to the point where I literally did not have to get ready for WWE. I was ready to be in WWE.
Yeah. Yeah. And again, I mean, it's kind of like, honestly, like, again, I mean, I would view it as a good thing myself as well, because you were there, you know what it's like, you got the start. So, you know, when the time comes, you get that call in the future, it's not strange. It's not like, oh, you know, you and young too. So you're looking at wrestling schools, or you're going to be starting a wrestling school soon. We're going to be seeing you in matches eventually.
Oh, absolutely.
What was your in-ring style there, and do you plan on kind of maintaining that in-ring style? Like, is it more technical? Is it more, I know you said spider monkey, but I don't know if that's an official. So go ahead. No sound coming through. Maybe we're on mute, or
I think
there we go. We're good. We're good.
That my style is very, very, very intricate. It's hard to explain.
Okay. High flying, more groundwork, a lot of.
See, that's
acrobatic.
Because I'm more of a person. I'm more of a situational person. Let me say,
okay,
I'm gonna be high fly when it's someone huge in the ring with me, because I know I'm gonna have to take you down. You're gonna fall. On the groundwork more when I have someone maybe a manageable size where I could actually out wrestle them. And that's where all my technique's gonna come in, because I think so. One of my coaches was Norman Smiley, and let me tell you,
oh wow,
that
I didn't know Norman Smiley was a coach there.
Yeah.
Genius. He's amazing.
Color me confused. Wow.
He's amazing. I think I got so much knowledge from him in the least amount of time to tell you that I'm able, if I had a match where the rules were no high flying, no ropes, no nothing, stay on the mat, I can do that. And I can deliver and give you an exciting match just right there in the middle of the mat.
Wow.
Do you stay in touch with any of the people, Norman Smiley, Axiom, any of those people still? Are you still in talks with any of them, or has that kind of cooled off a little?
No.
Sorry. Okay.
So sorry. Other than social media, no. I understand, you know, we all have things to do in our lives, you know. The farewells and the thank yous and the, you know, other than that, I think, you know, I'll reach out maybe when it's a birthday or when it's something special, for sure.
Right. Of course.
Cool. Okay, that's really cool. So here's the big question, and take a minute if you want to think about it. But I know. I'm not going to say I know, but from what I'm hearing, goal would be to get back to the WWE at some point. But what other goals do you have? And just tell me if that's not one of them. But like short-term, long-term goals in wrestling, what are they? What do they look like for you right now?
So currently, short-term goals for wrestling school, and the first is drop my vignette of the love to portray. I'm actually having conflictions with my character simply because I think a lot of people love Lexini. I think Lexini. I think they vibe with the name Lexini, and it's crazy because I love Lexini as well. So I'll be heartbroken to have to change my Instagram name, and then someone else takes Lexini with the name. But I want to drop my video of just portraying that. Just, you know, it's going to be a good little vignette. You guys should enjoy it. I have that coming, and I also have my gears that I cannot wait to post, because I don't know if you guys seen the last post I made about the last gear that I got that was absolutely botched.
Yeah, I saw that.
Better gears coming, and I'm going to talk about that, showing everybody like the new and improved. You know, I'm gonna drop her name soon. You guys are gonna get the deets soon.
Okay, that's cool. I mean, that's exciting, and I'm excited for you. I know Jay's excited for you. I just love, again, the positivity, the energy. You have a lot of energy, which that speaks volumes to someone like me. I love energy, because if you're low energy, you do something else, right? But you gotta have that level of energy. So, what would you say to an aspiring, I'd say more for the younger because you're young as well and you're fresh out of college essentially, but what would you say to the other people that are in college that aren't getting the phone call or the ones that eventually do get the phone call? What advice would you give them for WWE or pro wrestling in general starting out?
So for my people who are waiting on their phone calls, don't wait and not have a plan. Don't just tell yourself it's just one way. Have different ways, different things you want to do, investigate different alleyways. For the people who get the call, when you get there, do not waste no time. It is a fast-paced kind of job, and you will get caught and you will feel flustered, but just keep pushing on. Literally, from the first day you get there, show them exactly what you came to show them. Be loud, be big, be crazy. Don't be scared. Actually, be scared, but do exactly what is scaring you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, do not take any. And then for my people who are just getting out of college, just trying to figure out what they want with their lives, don't sweat it. Believe in yourself, trust in your abilities, and actually have faith. Believe that what's for you is meant for you, and you are going to get there as long as you put in the work. Period.
Oh, that's fair.
Jay, do you have a follow-up for that?
No, I think that's right on point. I mean,
Cool.
I'm looking forward to you dropping some more information and definitely using the Lexini name. I think that was a good name for you. It fits you and your character. And yes, I saw the botched wardrobe. I got a good giggle out of that. That's for sure. I mean, it's almost as good as my first mask that I wore. Almost.
So are you still working on getting ring gear, or do you?
I actually have my ring gear already in process.
Okay.
Just sent me pictures of updates, and it's pretty much done. I think she just has to do like the final finishing touches, put a little bit
Okay.
on it. But when I drop it, it's gonna be super professional. It's gonna be. I have been enjoying watching people put me in the WWE 2K game. Okay, that game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I need to give them something that they can play with. I need to show them moves. I need to show them things that they want to be playing in that game. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I'm excited to see it too. I'm always about the in-ring stuff, but so if you drop Lexini, why would you drop Lexini? Is it just it's that character conflict that you're having? Because I see you got the Lexi Nation, which is cool, I think, and it flows. So why would you consider dropping that, if you don't mind me asking?
Because I have a very creative mind.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, prior to WWE, I really had these things. You know, Lexini isn't something that I just came up with. Lexini has been Lexini for years now. And I feel like now that I'm here, you guys deserve someone fresh, someone brand new. And instantly, I remember being like in my sleep, like dead in my sleep. Instantly waking up, grabbing my phone, going to my notes, and literally typing this name. And I said, wow, let me go to maybe an announcer and see how they feel about saying the name, because you know that's very important. Your announcer saying. When she said it, she said, it rolls off the tongue very well. So that's what caused the clash, because I'm like, okay, maybe save that name for later, continue on with Lexini, build my brand, and then initiate that name. Maybe that's the better process. You know, it's all business, so we'll see.
I think that's one of the beautiful things about professional wrestling too, is that you can even totally reinvent yourself. You can change your name. You could put a mask on and be a whole new, you know what I mean? Like you can do these things and you can experiment. That wasn't a stab. That was a
shot. Everybody heard that.
It's on air. It's live. Hey, whatever. But you can reinvent yourself. You can change your name. You can change your gimmick. You have a lot of that. You play around with it. What works, what doesn't. Spend 6 months to a year with one, and I think you'll know pretty quickly, right? If your merch isn't moving or people aren't clicking, you're not getting more followers with this name or gimmick. Maybe it's time to change it up. So, I mean, that's an option, right? Is that something that you've considered?
Yeah, that's something that I've considered. I'm just trying to learn from what I learned
Yeah.
which is to take it one step at a time. I get caught up in thinking so far ahead that I forget that I'm right here, right now.
Yeah.
And so right now, I do feel like Lexini is a really good name.
It's a good brand.
It's a great
Mhm.
brand. I think everybody loves it, and I'm feeling everybody. I feel like I can trust everybody around me right now, and I think you guys are gonna steer me in like the right direction when it comes to what is expected, and I'm willing to listen for sure.
That sounds good to me.
Like I
So
said,
a few
yeah.
more. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was saying, like I said, just keep on putting in that work. Maybe you want people to see what moves you got. Well, try starting up a YouTube channel. Start posting your moves. Show them what you can do. That way they can start emulating that, putting in, 2K24 and all future games. Exactly what you want. You want people talking about you. You want them talking about Lexi Nation, right?
Correct.
Okay, so that's what you got to do. You got to keep on doing it. Keep on pushing.
You got to picture that t-shirt. It's crazy with branding these days. You got to think of the t-shirt. You got to think about hats. You got to think about a hashtag on Twitter. It's like
right.
crazy what goes into branding. It's like you said, the announcer. It's got to roll off the tongue. It's got to sound right. It's got to, you know what I mean? Like it's got to have all these different things, and that's just a name. It's the craziest thing in the world. Forget what your personality is like. That's your name. It's crazy. So I totally get that. Just a couple more. I mean, again, really happy to have you here, respectful of your time as well. So inspirations and role models in the wrestling world, are there like 2, 3, 4, 5 wrestlers that you still look up to and or used to look up to?
So, of course, Roman Reigns, just because he's hot. I'm sorry. That's just the only reason. Randy Orton, that RKO saved my life. I think I RKO'd everybody I knew. I RKO'd my boyfriend, and he definitely. I enjoyed myself. Sasha Banks. I think Sasha Banks were like two of the women in WWE who always caught me because I felt like, had I got there earlier, maybe I would have ended up sneaking in with them, because Sasha's feistiness, Sasha's presence, her energy, that is me. I feel like I would be able to feed off of her and just create this atmosphere that everyone would just watch over and over and over and over and over, like they do for her takeover Brooklyn. Like Takeover Brooklyn was amazing. And then Trinity, I loved all of her movesets. I think they were so fun, so energetic, and like just so for her. And I would definitely love to like pick her brain some and figure out like how I could get myself to get her more of an original move that's for me, And I gotta.
So far, it's Mercedes and Trinity, though, right?
Yes, Mercedes.
Okay.
Those are two good ones.
She's
Can't argue.
Okay, even in person, like she is just so humble. She's so helpful. She's just the heel that you just gotta respect.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
That's good.
I love it. So aside from them, or inclusive of them, who are your dream opponents and scenarios?
Oh yeah, Kiana James. She is gonna put me over, okay? Because she is just so aggressive. She is just gonna kick your butt immediately out the gate, and that's what I need. I need to feel fear so that I can bring my true essence up, like forward. So she would be a dream match for sure. Oscar has been.
Oh my gosh.
I'm scared of the green mist. I am scared of the green, but I will take a green mist to drop kick Oscar.
Asuka is like the unsung hero, in my opinion, of women's wrestling. She is just scary good, just seamless, flawless. And I don't even know if I think it's like hard to appreciate how good she is, if that makes sense. She's just so good. But
and Roxanne as well.
Roxanne.
And also because we are like the same size, I think our match would be like a fair match. But I don't think we would ever have to like have a match together. I think we would actually tag rather than actually fight each other. But if I ever had to fight Roxy, that would be an amazing fight because she's gonna make me think. She's gonna make me ask myself, how am I gonna beat these pop rocks? How am I gonna actually get around it so that she does not end me?
Yeah, she's bubbly.
Those be
Yeah.
Very
So I have two more before we call it, if that's okay with you. But before I do that, Jason, did you have any pressing questions on your end?
I mean, really, I just kind of want to dig into your mind a little bit. What your experience was really like there. Outside of just working with other wrestlers and talents, how was it working with, like, were you working with Shawn Michaels? Did you talk to Triple H? Did they give you advice? What'd you take from your experience there in the back?
So I'll say I was more so fairly new still. And Shawn already had a lot of new talent that he was currently like putting his time into. So I was more so speaking to him on just respectful terms as this is my boss. Hello. Introducing myself, ensure that he sees my face and just letting him know, I appreciate you for the opportunity to work under you and just learning from him, just watching from afar, seeing how he treats the other talent, seeing what he's telling the other talent, listening to what he's telling us as a group, and just being insightful, like simply just sitting there. It was more so a place where you go to learn by observing. A lot of the things that you learn there, you really have to focus and not the past. Because a lot of the people there are speaking to someone, but they're speaking aloud because they want everyone to get this knowledge. Maybe someone can get a note from what they're saying. It's not so much just, oh, they're having a conversation, let me not. It's okay, conversation, but what's this conversation about? Like every so on point. I remember Mustafa, he sat down, he led us to the depths of being on main roster and just what it takes to get there and stuff like that. Like it was always different people. Like Shawn would always make sure to speak to the older people and make sure that they are also speaking to us and teaching us and helping us to learn and stuff like that. So that was more of my process. I worked with them, but not so much as closely as I would have liked.
No, that's fair. That's fair. That's good. Good response. Pretty much what I was hoping to hear from you. So that's good.
Yeah. So for the Lexini fans, as you're called right now, the Lexination, what are your hobbies? What are you like outside of the ring and whatnot? Or I mean, you have a lot of energy. What kind of things do you like to do? You're a surfer, aren't you? I don't know what kind of things do you like to do?
I actually do surf a little.
So just guessing.
Y'all, I am from the Bahamas, so skimboarding, like all of this stuff is just natural. I do the thing, but I'm more of a dancer. Like I hear music, and you could ask anybody at that PC. Like if they seen me, if I wasn't like just running around and jogging, I was just dancing, like just to my own song in my head, or like I would just be moving and grooving because I don't know. I'm just like a wired MP3 player. I know a lot of songs.
Oh, that's fair.
Cool. Very cool.
That's awesome.
I have one final, but Jason, if you have one, take it away.
I want you.
Yeah. So we talked about your goals. We talked about you going to wrestling school. The very next thing for you, it sounds like, is getting into a wrestling school and then getting your way into a promotion. Is that correct? Is that what we should be keeping an eye out from you? I mean, I got my eyes on your Twitter. Is that the best? And also, so I guess the question would be, what do you see as the very next thing where people can see your work? And where's the best place to follow you? Probably Twitter, but leave it to you.
So Twitter is going to be the place where you follow me when you just want to get the hints. I'm going to drop hints on Twitter. That's what I love Twitter for. It's like, okay, let's test the waters a little bit. Let's see what everybody's looking like. Instagram is going to be where I send updates. But I have lately had specific people on my Instagram who legitimately have been supporting me as soon as I signed my contract. And those are the people that, they want. I feel like I need to treat them specially. I feel like I need to give them access to something that everybody else will not have access to. So I just recently started subscriptions on my Instagram for $4.99. And I'm not even going to move it up past that because it's ridiculous past that. But that's where I'm posting my gear updates. That's where I'm posting my job updates. That's where I'm posting videos of me working out. That's where I'm going to post all my stunt videos. That's where I'm going to post all of my just vignettes, all of my just anything that I do related to wrestling on myself personally. And I know my fans and everybody who supports me is going to want to know about it. I'm going to be posting it in those subscriptions. And then I also have Cameo for people who just want like personalized messages and stuff like that. So the best thing to follow me on would be Twitter and Instagram for sure. You can follow me on TikTok if you want to just see some crazy videos, but Instagram and Twitter for sure.
So Twitter's the tease, Instagram's where you're gonna have the majority of the media, but then there's a subscription. We get that behind the scenes look of progress from your life to where you're breaking out into this professional wrestling world. Is that fair?
Exactly.
Jason,
all right, well, absolutely. Shout out to your Instagram and your Twitter tags right now. You got that? You're still there?
Yes.
Okay, hey, do a shout out with your Instagram and your Twitter handles. That way, everybody that's watching and people that will watch will actually know.
So y'all can follow me on Instagram at __LEXINI. That is Lexini. Got it from Martini, so now it's Lexini. And you can follow me on Twitter at LEXINI242. Oh wait, that's not my Twitter. I've had 3 Twitters, by the way, because I had to keep on remaking them. LEXIZBAC. Lex is back on Twitter. Make sure y'all follow me. Make sure y'all subscribe and keep up with me and keep following me and keep supporting me. I love y'all so much.
Thanks again for coming on. It was a pleasure. We're going to be watching you. We're big supporters. We talked about you, prior to even wanting to do it. I told him, I was like, I'm very confused by this one. So I'm glad we got to talk to you. And I'm glad that you are who you are with the spirit and the positivity that you have. And I'm just going to throw it out there. You're going to do great things. I can feel it. So we're going to be watching and very, very excited for your future for you. And hey, hopefully we have you back on in the future and go get him, man. Go get him.
Guys, so much. I appreciate this opportunity so much. We speak about, my project.
Of course. No,
Awesome.
we appreciate you. Well, I hope you have a great rest of your night. And let's get in contact. We'll set you up for another date.
Awesome. Sounds good. Thank you.
Take care. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.